Next up, we have Ultimate Adom, and I am joined by Bjorn from Team Adom. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
If you'd just like to maybe just introduce the game, people who may not know the series, tell us a little bit of its history.
Sure, absolutely. So first of all, again, thank you very much for having us here. A couple of weeks ago, you guys published top 50 PC RPGs of all time.
Yep.
We're still on there with Adom, so that's pretty cool for a game that's around 25 years old.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
Really makes our... So we've mentioned that we've been on this list before on every single pitch we make. So having this new is really cool.
Oh, great.
So yeah, we've been around. Adom's still being updated by us regularly. You can buy it on Steam or GOG, or if you don't, if you hate supporting indie developers, you can download it for free at adom.de.
Great.
But without all the fuzzy bit. So yeah, this is where we're coming from. So the original team that created Adom is now working on Ultimate Adom. So Thomas, the creator, who can't be here today, unfortunately, he's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah,
I know
so
you guys
if you're
are
coming to EGX Berlin tomorrow, please do go over to the stand and you can meet the original creator.
He's great. So he's still the lead designer, the lead programmer, the lead everything here for Ultimate Adom. And everyone working on this has been with the IP for several years already. So first of all, to clear a couple of misconceptions about Ultimate Adom is that it's not a remake of Adom, it's the actual direct sequel. So at the end of Adom, it's you defeat the big bad evil guy or take a throne, and the world kind of ends because a catastrophe happens. Obviously, evil gets defeated, but at the beginning of every single sequel, you've probably seen evil is never quite as defeated as it's supposed to be. So this, what I'm going to show you, is a pre-alpha version of the game. So we can expect a couple of funny crashes. I hope to get around to this, but you know, restarting a Unity game is really easy. So Ultimate Adom is going to be fully Unity, which means we're going to run on every single toaster you can put a game on. At least it's our goal. So we'll be developing on PC and Mac. We intend to release on the Switch and on every single phone you have, so just soon. So to start with the game, we have a couple of lovely demo levels here. First of all, the first thing you select is your faction allegiance. The faction allegiance not only gives you several benefits in game, or at least eventually, not in this demo at the moment, it also determines what your actual goal is in the game. So you have different goals. So if you're joining the Legions of Anodrakon, you're looking for a shard of your defeated Overmind and super bad guy of the last game. While when you're going for the Mad Minstrel, he just wants to silence every other voice but his. So he's, you know, not the nicest person. You could just go.
Sounds like some YouTubers.
Kind of. You just get unaligned and you see, there's a cave, there's treasure, so let's just go for this. We do have a couple of agendas, additional agendas. I don't know why every single person who played the demo, although Boost picks tentacles, but let's go with it. A couple of races. So, we will not have the 18 classes that we have with Adom. We're going to have less classes, but they're going to be much, much deeper. And why? As I'm going to show you here in our skill system, which, by the way, is really fresh. So this build, we introduced the skill system to this build 2 weeks ago. We have pyromancy skills 1 week ago, so we're really encouraging constant rush, just going through it. So right now, we only have the pyromancy skill, but there will be around 10 different magic skills, of which you pick 3. So every time you play a wizard, you can go fire, necromancy, air, or you can just, I'm specialized on shield magic and animating things that follow me around. So no 2 wizards are ever going to be the same. The same goes for the martial skills. So if you go into here, you see that axes can have really, really heavily improved damage, and you learn things like chopping wood. So when you're running into a wood golem or try to break down a door, axes are really cool. You get can break shields and cut off limbs. By the way, we were aiming for a USK 12. Not sure if you make that with cutting off the limbs, but it's still cartoony graphic. Don't worry, no real limbs have been harmed in the production of this game. Whereas swords, for example, have things like parry or perfect balance, which means that you can't be disarmed as easily. So every single weapon, so for the fighter, 2 fighters will also not be the same. So we're trying to go for a couple of less classes, but much more choices in playing them.
Right.
We're also going to have a couple of secret skills, and I'm going to spoil one because we did this on a block already. So if you level up your sword skill and your pyromancy skill, you will unlock a skill which allows you to have flaming blades with every single melee attack. So there's a lot of experimentation going on and discovering not only the game itself and all the monsters as you do with roguelikes, but also how to build the perfect character.
Cool.
So, I talked a lot about the game. So let's have a look at it. We are a human wizard running around in an underground dungeon. So, this is roguelike stuff. We have fully 3D area now, finally. We have traps, because, door block traps, this is just the things that happen in dungeons.
Yeah.
Pick up treasure or not. So we run around a bit and explore the area as it comes along. Oh, look, there's a secret door and a couple of monsters. Now, we're a wizard, and fighting with staff and sword can work, but it's not very efficient. So we're going to cast a couple of spells. We're big on pyromancy right now.
Yeah.
This is my favorite one. We just kill things.
Gets the job done.
A couple of things. First of all, every single thing you see a monster wielding is actually something they drop. So when you see a huge monster coming up with a glowing blue sword, if you kill him, you can collect this glowing blue sword, and hopefully it's not cursed or everything. So, secondly, we've received complaints that or worries that Ultimate Adom is going to be much too easy.
Right.
It's not. So we have this wonderful waterfall and a very strong current here on the river. And if you're not strong enough, like a simple wizard, it's quite possible that you're going into the whirlpool and just die, because these things happen. We're a roguelike game, and you will die. Apparently, this was a selling point for Adom, so we're just going to keep this.
Yeah.
That's not very satisfying. So let's try this again.
Hint: don't die.
So I'm just picking some random stuff here.
Yeah.
And going to a dark and forbidden, sinister cave temple. So where we actually have, look at this, zombies. It's my favorite spell.
Yes.
It works so well. I'm going to show off a couple of different spells here in a bit. So here's a room where something obviously happened. So all the blood is not only gratuitous, but blood will later be used in other spells to electrify, and you probably played Divinity, and if you haven't, you should. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that, but never mind.
No, you should. It's amazing.
And this has been a lot of inspiration here. So one thing that we always hear about is, for people who play Adom, is, please introduce an ASCII mode. I don't know why. Because I think it looks quite gorgeous, but of course we do have an ASCII mode. And it's an ASCII mode that also fully features very, very interesting spell effects. So if I do the Inferno here, you actually see this, and it's still very, very cool looking. But hey, we're going to look at things because I want to show you. Tentacles. Tentacles are always good.
You gotta love a tentacle.
Oh, and he summoned a couple. So if I flee from him, things happen with random elements, so we still have a lot of interaction here on the map already. There's going to be much more. If you drop in lava, obviously you die. If you are not careful with your spells, oh no, I can't cast this anymore. Oh, this is a shame. So we can place a couple of nice effects here. Vile energies are just going crazy, everything, debuffing everyone, killing my wall of fire because of anti-magic. And, well, yeah, probably not, excellent. I managed to kill him after all. So, as you can see, there's some very strange runes here. These are runes you actually see better when you're going for ASCII mode, because, usually they show something. And this is, very, very important for the story later. And if I try to approach the altar, I am actually going to stop the demo here because I don't want to spoil too much.
No.
So we intend to go for early access for some kind of version in early access. We're not quite sure where to do this yet, either on itch.io or on Steam. Well, it's still up for discussion. We're going to early access in January and intend to release the full game sometimes in summer next year.
Wonderful. Well, that's very exciting stuff. Thank you for talking us through the
I
demo.
know. Thank you very much for having us.
When you're working on something like this, what's the kind of balance between targeting fans of the original and maybe trying to bring new people in?
Okay, so we're obviously, we're not a Candy Crush game. So this is still a hardcore PC role-playing game. This is kind of the audience. So we still have lots of fans playing Adom, and obviously want to cater for them too. But we want to also make it very accessible. So what you've seen me using here is just 6 keys, basically. So you don't have to memorize a billion different shortcuts anymore to play this efficiently, even though you have an ASCII mode, even though there are going to be shortcuts. So don't worry, please don't blame me. Yeah, but we are also aiming to go for consoles, etc. So we are obviously limited with the amount of keys you can press. And this skill tree and the skill selection thing has actually is working very, very well. Also targeted tests. So that's
awesome.
So we're trying to cater to both audiences, but if we have to choose, well, you can still die in the game very easily.
Is there a particular feature or spell or ability that you're particularly kind of like really enamored with that you're excited for people to see?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. Thank you very much. So every single object that you create in Ultimate Adom is something you can interact with. And in the gameplay video that you can find on our website, we showed a bit of this interaction. And so you can cut off limbs from enemies. When you're a necromancer and specialize in this, you can graft them to yourself, so you can run around with 2 heads or 3 arms and wield weapons in each of them. So you have a couple of different slots, but this is open-ended.
Right.
Yeah, if you have a couple of more ring fingers that you attach to yourself, go for it. So you can turn yourself into a horrifying undead abomination if you really want to, because this is your game and you play the way you want. You can also, when you're going for the animancy magic, and I showed this in the gameplay video last time, you can animate things that have been cut off. So you can animate an arm that you just have cut off, give it a sword, and have a flying sword arm companion protecting you from the enemies, and maybe even from the enemy that just lost an arm. So if you're in front of a locked door, this is an example we like to use, is you can find a key somewhere, you can bash in the door if you're strong enough, or you can just animate it, turn it into a wood golem, hopefully a peaceful one, have it move out of the way and just pass the door.
Awesome. And did you want to clarify the jade stuff that we were talking about?
Yes. Yeah. So
for those that you probably better explain it than I.
Yeah. So there's still the rumor going on, that Ultimate Adom is a remake of Adom.
Yeah.
And that is not true. So we are a direct sequel of the same people working on this for a very long time. So we kind of know our fans. We know the kind of game we want to do. This time we're going to feature slightly more chaotic tentacles than before. We only hinted at them before, and now we actually have them running around. If you look at our logo, which you hopefully show somewhere, you'll see the tentacles are kind of our thing, in a USK 12 way. That's still very important. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm really excited to see more. And if anyone else is excited to see more, they can come to your stand and play it here at EGX Berlin and pick your brains.
We're part of the indie area here, and again, if you come by tomorrow, if you're around the area, you can meet the creator, so the original inventor of Adom, who's going to be at our stand at our PC over there.
Wonderful stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming by and talking through the game. Much appreciated. Looking forward to seeing more.